everyone! Today, we will introduce 10 anime works that give us a huge trauma. First up is a Kame ga Kill, a brutal, torturous, disgusting, and traumatic anime from the very first episode. First, the main character Tatsumi and his friends come to the imperial capital from the countryside to give a try. On the way, they are attacked and scattered by the bandit, and only Tatsumi arrives in the capital before the others. Tatsumi, who knows nothing, is cheated out of all the money he has with him, and when he is at his wit's end, he meets a passing aristocratic girl named Arya, and she offers him a job as a live-in until his friends join him. But the problem is that a few days later, assassins attack and kill almost everyone except Arya, and Tatsumi tries to save her. Tatsumi tries to help Arya, but to his surprise, Arya is behind the scenes torturing and experimenting on lowly people. And behind the door, Tatsumi's friends have been cruelly tortured or murdered. A woman has already died after being severely tortured, and a man is drugged and dies after exchanging a few words with Tatsumi. However, this is only the beginning. The darkness of the imperial capital is still deep-rooted, and the story is still full of disgusting elements and hopelessness. The story of this anime is about the fight against the corruption of the imperial city with such a group of assassins. The second work is Talentless Nana, an anime that I would seriously recommend before discussing the first episode. The author is Lou's boy, the scenario writer of legendary games such as Sharin no Kuni, The Girl Among the Sunflowers, and The Devil on G-String, whose work is a definite work of God. In the first episode, there is a school on an isolated island where boys and girls with special abilities are gathered, and one of them, Mr. Nano, is not confident in his abilities and is called talentless. After meeting a transfer student who can read people's minds a little, he becomes more confident in himself, and a friendship develops. But in the shocking scene, Miss Nana pushes Mr. Nano into the sea while the two are trying to confirm their bond on the hill with a view of the sea. In fact, Nana is a mere moron who can't read people's minds, and she is an assassin sent by an organization that eliminates psychics who threaten humans. It is a battle of non-psychics versus psychics, and there's a sophisticated psychological battle, a brain battle, and a mystery element in the anime. The third work is The Executioner and Her Way of Life, a shocking anime about isekai with a novel setting. The main character, Mitsuki, is summoned to another world, and while he is happy to be in his dream world, the kingdom judges him to be incapacitated and banishes him from the royal castle. Then, he becomes a lost person with no ability. Then Menno, a priest, appears and teaches Mitsuki how to live in that world, helps him to develop his abilities, and tries to protect him. However, while Mr. Mitsuki's abilities start to look eminent and he himself is enjoying himself with this gifted ability, Menno kills Mr. Mitsuki from his back. In fact, otherworldly people called Lost One are taboo because they cause irreversible disasters, and this executioner, Miss Menno, is in charge of assassinating these otherworldly people. Miss Menno tries to carry out her mission as usual, but a certain girl's ability makes it difficult for her to execute her, and she goes to a ritual site so that her true identities will not be revealed. Like the Heisei vibe feeling, Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury, which is currently popular, also has the GL element that is trending nowadays, so it might be a good idea to watch it now. The fourth work is a surprise, the anime Juni Taisen Zodiac War, in which we don't know who is the main character. First of all, this is an anime about the Zodiac Tournament, which takes place once every 12 years, in which the 12 warriors kill each other, and the winner who survives is granted a wish. In the first episode, the story is told from the point of view of this woman, Toshiko, a young lady type. She analyzes the other Zodiac warriors with a calm and collected mind, intersperses her recollections of the past, and tries to challenge them to a battle. The story then quickly devolves into a battle, and Toshiko dies in the first episode. In the Zodiac War, each of the 12 warriors is highlighted, each with his or her own personal history, wishes, and ambitions, and the battle ensues. The highlights are their special abilities and the martial arts and skills they have developed. And some of them have unbelievable talents that destroy the stereotypes of this world. So, you can't take your eyes off of them until the very end. The fifth work is To Your Eternity, an anime about encounters and goodbyes, a divine anime from the very first episode. First of all, this white-haired boy, who is also seen in the visuals, appears from the first episode. He has a bright personality and dreams. He lives alone in a village in the snowfield and decides to go to the paradise that the adults have set their sights on, and sets off with the wolf he has been living with. But despair awaits him. The paradise they had been wanting for had already fallen into decay. In fact, it is Fushi, the real protagonist of the film, who transformed to a ball, to a stone, to a wolf, to a human being because he has two abilities: the ability to regenerate after death, and the ability to change into the form of an object that has stimulated him. He is taught the art of living, language, and emotions of various people he meets on his journey, and grows up to emulate human beings as he encounters to those he cares about. I was moved to tears from the very first episode with the magnificent use of music, how they illustrate the deaths and the regrets of those who have passed away. The sixth work is a painful but pleasant anime, The Eminence in Shadow. Sid Kageno, the main character of this work, is quite an eccentric person. Ever since he was a little boy, he has longed to be a figure of power controlling everything from the shadow, training himself day by day and defeating evil behind the scenes. However, in his last summer of high school, he was involved in a traffic accident and died easily. The protagonist is reincarnated into another world, where he enjoys a dream life of reincarnation, but even in that world, he enjoys the role of a powerful man in the shadows, has cute girls under his command, and sometimes judges the cult of darkness. The seventh work is Sinful Gear. In the first episode of Sinful Gear, Tsubasa Kazanari, voiced by Nana Mizuki, and Kanade Amo, voiced by Minami Takayama, the top vocal unit in the series, are performing when the alien race Noise appears and the two fight wearing Sinful Gear. However, Kanade sings a song of exclamation in exchange for her own life in order to save a civilian. The civilian that Kanade saved, Hibiki Tachibana, is the protagonist of this work. And although she is not a talented person at first, she overcomes various difficulties and is recognized by Tsubasa. She fights fierce battles with the enemy characters and grows up. And the girls have some very exciting battles. There is already a fifth season in the works. There are also many special move cut-ins and emo scenes in the work, so please, watch this anime 100 times to become a Sinful Gear. The eighth work is Ga Rei Zero, an anime that is a first-time killer that has most carefully tricked us. In the first episode, the Special Tactics Unit 4, including the main character, stylishly exterminates ghosts and evil spirits, but in the last scene of the episode, a woman suddenly kills them all. It is rare for a work to deceive so cleverly and carefully. Until the first episode aired, anime magazines, official websites, and visuals reported that the story centered on Toru Kanzei, who was a Special Tactics Unit 4, and a roundtable discussion with the staff introducing the characters was published. In fact, however, it was a completely different story. The real story is about two girls who work for a secret agency, sometimes exterminating monsters and sometimes having a GL in their daily lives. In a non-stop back-to-school action anime, but one day, their glorious lives are disrupted. The ninth work is Shigofumi, Letters from the Departed, a minor low-key hidden depression anime. The first episode is about Shota, who loves rockets, and Ayase, a girl who watches over him. Shota has a crush on Ayase, but suddenly, the body of Ayase's father is found, and he is interviewed at the prosecutor's office. The next day, Shota meets a mysterious girl, Fumika, who has a wand that delivers letters from the dead, and decides to deliver the letter for Ayase himself. However, he accidentally reads the letter, and it implies that Ayase killed her father, but he dismisses it as a falsehood. Shota meets up with Ayase at night and confesses his love to her, but is soon interrupted by Fumika, Shota is determined to protect Ayase, but she approaches him from behind and stabs him. In fact, Ayase has become a tool of her father's business, and when his hands nearly reach her younger sister, she actually kills him. All of these happened in just one episode, but the story continues to unfold as the Shigofumi arrives at various people's doorsteps, and the drama unfolds as the mystery of the Shigofumi deliverer and the girl in it, Fumika, are pursued. The 10th work is Goblin Slayer, the most traumatic anime in the history. In the first episode, a priest who has become an adventurer goes to a cave with other new adventurers to kill goblins. But they get caught in a goblin trap, and one of them dies from poison. Another is stabbed to death, and another is played by a goblin. There are many more scenes like this in the story, and some people find the content so physiologically unacceptable that it has been nominated for a ban overseas. Have a nice anime life!